it's Amy with Thrive Nutrition RDN. Today we are making a recipe I have made probably a million times. It's quinoa Greek salad. This is something that I bring to every single get-together, barbecue, Super Bowl party, you name it. I bring this salad and it never fails. Someone asks me for the recipe. It's so good. It's a grain salad, high in protein. So let's get started. We're gonna start with our quinoa. And quinoa has something called saponins on it, which is why we want to rinse it really, really well. I have 1.5 cups of quinoa here. It has been rinsed and drained, and I have 3 cups of water bubbling away on the stove. The quinoa cooks up in 15 minutes, so we're gonna put it on the stove and then we'll work on the veggies. Now that our quinoa is simmering away, let's work on our veggies. So to make a quinoa Greek salad, this is all the elements of a traditional Greek salad. You have tomatoes, you have cucumber, feta, and really yummy Kalamata olives. I'm gonna work on my cherry tomatoes. I have a pint of cherry tomatoes, and we want everything in our dish to be the same size. So these guys, we're just gonna slice in half. And I've already sliced most of them, so I'm going to keep going, slicing these. And then we'll work on our olives, our cucumber, and this comes together really, really quickly. So a Greek salad is obviously traditional of Greece and very Mediterranean. We're gonna use a balsamic dressing to give it yummy flavor. Let's move those over here and we'll work on our olives. Now you could leave your olives whole, but I like to kind of cut them in half so that they extend in the dish and you get a few more bites of Kalamata olives than you would if you kept them whole, but you could do either one. So here we go, we're just cutting them in half. Those are good. Now let's work on our cucumber. I have peeled my cucumber and cut the ends off. That is because my kids don't really like the peel, but if you're fine with it, just go with it. You want to cut it in half. And then another thing that I do is I take the seeds out because they can tend to be a little bit bitter. So all you do is cut your cucumber in half, run a spoon down it, and they come right out. So we'll do that to the other half. Well, sometimes they can be a little stubborn, make a little mess, but that's all in the fun of cooking. So let's move the seeds out of the way. Now, to keep things the same size, I think I'm gonna go 3. So you do 3 vertical cuts here. Let's move our spoon. And then we're just gonna go along and chop so that our cucumber is about the same size as our cherry tomato and our Kalamata olives. We'll move it over. And this dish is so yummy. My kids really love it. And I actually tried to make a different quinoa salad. And they were all like, nope, I like the traditional one. I want regular, they just call it quinoa. They don't even call it quinoa Greek salad. I want regular quinoa. So this is something that is on heavy rotation at my house. Okay, let's gather all of our veggies together in a little bowl. So we have our cucumber, yummy, full of more fiber for us. Let's see, and just look at the beautiful colors. It reminds me of summertime, and it certainly reminds me of Greece. We've got our olives, and then 1/2 cup of feta. This is the pre-crumbled feta. You could buy a block. I actually prefer a block, and I think it has a little more flavor, but my kiddos like this, and so sometimes as a mom, you just go with what the kiddos like. So we have all of our veggies chopped and prepped. We're gonna set this aside while our quinoa finishes cooking, and now is a great time to work on your dressing. Our quinoa has cooked for 15 minutes. It's nice and fluffy. Now we're gonna add the balsamic dressing. Come on over. I have a big bowl here. Let's see, ready for steam? Our quinoa has cooked up 15 minutes and it's done, which is wonderful. Now is the time when it's warm to add the dressing. So I have made the simple vinaigrette dressing that you've seen in a previous video. And to it, I jazzed it up a little bit. I added 1 clove of garlic, which I just pressed through my garlic press. And if you don't have a garlic press, you can just mince it and toss it in. And then to add a little bit more sweetness, which again, my kiddos really like, I added 1.5 teaspoons of honey. So we're gonna pour our quinoa into our bowl here. And quinoa is actually not a grain, it is a seed that we cook like a grain, but it is very high in protein. There's 8 grams of protein in 1 cup of quinoa. It's also high in fiber. Okay, so here we go, dressing. Actually, let's give it one more little shake, shake, shake. That's why I love a mason jar. I don't have to re-whisk it. Just shake it, and you're good. Shake it up. You don't want to add all of this. We're gonna add 3/4 of it. We save some for after it has been chilled. So mix it in right now. Actually, I don't think I did quite 3/4. There we go. Mix up. So now the quinoa, the grain, is gonna soak up the dressing and just flavor the whole dish so much better than if we added it after it was cooled. Your next step is to cover this and put your quinoa in the fridge to chill for an hour before we add our veggies. Okay, because if we added them now, our tomatoes would wilt. They would kind of cook because the grain is hot. Everything would just wilt. So we want to chill this down, and then we'll add our veggies. And then the best part, we get to taste it. So into the fridge it goes. Our quinoa has been chilling for an hour, and it has soaked up our yummy dressing, and it's nice and light. Now we just need to add in our veggies and feta and give it a taste test. So we've got the pint of cherry tomatoes, the cucumber, 1/2 cup of Kalamata olives, 1/2 cup of feta cheese, and look at this. This is just so Mediterranean. All the delicious colors, textures, and remember that quinoa is high in protein. It's high in fiber. And then we've added all these yummy flavorings and veggies. This is a great snack. It's a great lunch. It's a great side dish. And like I said earlier, I bring it to every single barbecue get-together gathering, and someone always asks me for the recipe. So let's give it a taste. I'm gonna get a fork. We just want to check seasonings. So let's see. So yummy. I'm definitely gonna add the rest of my dressing. We'll give it another mix, and that's going to incorporate the rest of that balsamic, yummy deliciousness, and we should be good to go. Look at that. Awesome. Okay, let's give it one more taste. Let's grab a cherry tomato this time. So yummy, light and fresh, but also really filling with the fiber, with the protein. I highly recommend you make this for your next gathering or family dinner. Thanks.